Johnny Somali's BFF Hank Yo explains himself. Okay. By Ktown Social.
All right, and we are back with Ktown Social Club. Joining us, me, Michael Kim, Douglas Kim, and Ed Choi. Joining us all the way from Seoul, Korea, is you may know Johnny Somali. It's Johnny Somali's buddy in Korea, Hank Yu. Welcome to the program, Hank.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Yeah. So, what's going on with you? Where are you going?
I'm going to the gym right now.
I'm gonna say it though. I'm gonna say it, and I said it earlier. But if you are the cameraman for a nuisance streamer, if you are the cameraman of a nuisance streamer, you are essentially in the position of a cuck. Just gonna say that straight up. You are in the position of a cuck.
Early in the morning.
Oh yeah.
Wait, what time is it there?
It's like 9 a.m., right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, what can you bench press?
I maxed out at 100 kilograms, which is like 220 pounds.
That's not bad.
Yeah, that's not bad. That's pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't like max out much anymore. I do like which weight I can comfortably bench for like 8 reps. Without assistance. So for that, it'd be like 60 kilograms to 70 kilograms around there.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. You know, you sent me a text. You know, you sent me an email because when we first covered the Johnny Somali thing, when he got his ass beat or whatever in Korea, you were there too. And you know, we talked about how you kind of got pulled to the ground and some girl was stepping on your face and all this stuff is going on. Like, you said you wanted to clear something up. Like, what is it?
Bro also got violated. Interesting. Bro also got violated by a girl. Based woman.
Is the misconception people have?
Well, a lot of people think it's a 1v1, and that guy took me out like fair and square just because that dude took me down to the ground. But in 1v1, I would have pulverized him. Simple. You know, like, basically, yes, he took me down to the ground because I was imbalanced due to holding a baton, but I actually reversed and bridged, reversed, shrimped out, and got a back control. That's when those are two, that fatty and the bowl cut kneeled on my legs, and his girlfriend like stomped on my head and my neck. So
yeah, but you know,
it's 41.
So bro wanted to come here and wanted to clarify that he got whooped by a dude, another dude, and his girlfriend? Is that what you're saying? What? Why? Huh? And got mopped on the floor too? Good. Yeah, sure, buddy. Sure. Bro wants to clarify that he's not a pussy.
Yeah, but you know, it was never a 1v1. I think you were just getting jumped because of your, you know, your support of Johnny Somali and all that. You feel like you shouldn't have been jumped then? You should have just had a one-on-one fight.
No, because I know better not to. I know better than to expect fair fight from a street fight, because that's why, like, I don't like street fighting. You know, if they want to fight me, they can fight me 1v1 at the gym. You know, because anything can happen in
right. Okay,
fight.
So what?
This guy can't have a knife. This guy can have a gun. You know.
Yeah. So why are you friends with Johnny Somali? What draws you to him?
If you're trying to avoid street fights, I think being friends with Johnny Somali in Korea is probably not a good idea.
Yeah, Korea has a really bad self-defense law. The reason why I'm friends with Johnny Somali is I don't agree with everything what he does, but I do support his freedom of speech. And
what do you agree with? What do you agree with that he does?
I agree with pissing off Korean Xers. For
Xers?
sure. Generation X. Yes.
Huh? What? Huh? What? What? Huh? Is bro retarded? It makes no sense. What is bro yapping? He is friends with Johnny Somali because Johnny Somali pisses off Gen X Koreans.
Why? What did Generation X do?
Generation X is the worst in Korea.
Yeah, explain,
Have you guys
explain
ever...
it. Explain it. Well, why are they the worst? What do they do?
So, do you know the Generation X attitude? Like, how dare you disagree with me?
Okay.
I mean, I think that's just the general
Boomers
Korean
too, right?
Boomers too, but boomers, I believe, they have their own reason because Korea was actually poor then.
Yeah, but Johnny was not just going after Generation X. He was mostly targeting like Gen Z Koreans on the street and like harassing them, no? And boomers too.
I thought
Gen Z actually loved.
Pretty sure
Johnny.
zero Gen Xers were comfort women too. So confused on that.
I know, but Gen Z actually loved Johnny. Trust me.
You mean like 90% of Gen Z love John?
Yeah, Gen Z loves Johnny Somali so much. Someone goes up to him and whoops his ass. Yep, definitely.
Money or
Okay, so that boomer that was in the convenience store in the 7-Eleven that was getting harassed by Johnny, that woman deserved to be harassed like that
And have stuff
Like
thrown
Oh,
at her.
no.
the ramen.
No,
What does
that
freedom
I
of
actually
speech have to
disagree
do
with.
with action?
Okay,
That I actually disagree with.
so you
Johnny,
have a line then. You
No,
have
no, no.
you have a line. So what did you tell to Johnny when that happened?
I told him why did you do that? That's actually illegal. You can get a criminal trespass warning for that. I mean, and he did.
So
get
then,
a
so then,
criminal
if that
trespass warning, and he
woman
left
was
immediately.
if that Ajuma was a Gen X Ajuma, you'd be totally fine with that?
They were boomers. Actually.
No, I know, but what I'm saying is if that Ajuma at the 7-Eleven or whatever was a Gen X Ajuma,
20 years younger.
yeah, it would be okay.
Absolutely not. I mean, like, I am.
Huh? Hates Gen Xers. Says it's fine if he harasses Gen Xers. Oh, wait, I need to comprehend this. This is frying my brain. This guy is actually that stupid. Okay. Proceeds to then say that if the woman was a Gen Xer, that would still not be fine. I am so confused.
For pissing Xers off.
Okay, so what does
within legal boundaries.
So what does Johnny Somali do that pisses Generation X off?
Yeah, what's one example,
give me an
something that he
example.
did that you really like?
You know, Kunde culture?
Yeah, Konde, yeah.
Kunde, yeah. Johnny Somali goes directly against Kunde, and I fucking hate. I hate Kunde. Like, when...
like an old fart. Boomer.
Yeah.
So, what's
Often-
one specific thing that he did to a Konde? Like, what did he do? Did he say something to them, or?
He said, "What the fuck you gonna do about it? Free speech, nigga."
Oh, that's what he said to a Konde in Korea.
Xer, yes.
So you say that
And I am in full support of it.
So you say you support Johnny Somali's right to free speech, right? But then when you continue to hang out with him after he then gets violent with people and puts his hands on people or does break the law, you do realize you're no longer supporting his freedom of speech and you're just supporting his illegal behavior, right?
Right.
You're supporting a criminal by that point. Hey, Somax, how are you doing? Everything good? Yeah, it seems like it might be that Rainbow Core is trolling. And I might choose violence. At this point, you're just supporting a criminal. I still don't, and still, you just still not harass people. Even if it is in the so-called legal boundaries. You probably, if you take off his hat, there's probably just open.
Right. But Johnny never actually put his hands on people.
He has threatened to rape, hasn't he?
Ray Mopsy as a joke. Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he jokingly
sure, but-
threatened to rape some.
Yeah. Who doesn't do that? Oh, a grape joke. Yay, funny. This guy's so stupid. I'm losing my mind already. This guy is actually that damn stupid.
Somebody.
So how do we
But
know
that's
if it's
like
a joke
the
or not?
online, like, that's an online like streaming stuff, and I don't know if it's a threat because he said that you should get raped by Somalis.
No, didn't he say he was gonna get his homies to like rape her or something?
I don't believe so. No,
Oh, okay.
I do believe that he said that you should get raped by
Okay,
like
so
a gang of Somalis.
you're saying he wouldn't cross that line, right? Because he's not that kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean he's not a violent dude. Like
All right,
he's
and
really not. Like
yeah, and
I
that's,
almost chimped out on him a couple times. You know, like
no,
but
we've heard you. Okay. So for me, when I see you get mad
Yeah.
at Johnny a lot. You try to drag him away from trouble. You yelled at him in the police car to stop drinking. It seems like you're trying to get him out of trouble, but he keeps fucking around, and you're always there to have his back. Like, I don't understand why you keep helping this guy who keeps defying your orders. Like, you're trying to keep him out of trouble, but he doesn't care, and you keep helping him.
Isn't he at the point, as far as I'm aware now, where like I wouldn't first of all help this guy? Second of all, isn't he at the point where he's probably going to what's the word? Be in prison for 31 years? Aren't we at that point as well already?
I'm like, I mean, do you feel sorry for him? Like, what is this? What is it for?
Do you feel respected?
I do really feel sorry for him too, because he didn't kill anyone, he didn't rape a child, or like he didn't like abuse kids, but like why is he the most hated person in the world just because he disrespected like Japan and
Israel
and supposedly now Korea? I mean,
Suppose
Japan, Israel, Korea, anything else?
supposedly
he
now
makes no
Korea. Did
sense.
you not
Like,
see the?
Japanese and Koreans need to learn how to take jokes, you know?
Wait. Did you wait? Supposedly Korea, but you didn't see what he did with the baby oil and the statue.
I have, but I honestly don't think that's a big of a deal.
But
I mean,
can you see
I don't
how it's
agree with it.
yeah? If you don't think it's a big deal, but do you see how 50 million South Koreans might see it as a kind of a big deal? Even
Yes,
if you
sir.
don't.
I mean, I can definitely see it.
Right. So
However-
why do you keep protecting him and help?
Thailand as well. I stand by what I said when I said this is your missing link video. To truly understand Johnny, Somali, and Hank, you as mods and all sit tight. This is actually. I feel like my brain is actively trying to leave, like avoid this. There's no way. There's just no way. What is going on in this man's mind? I just feel like he hates his own culture. Could that be the case? Just he hates his own country?
Helping him?
Yeah, what if
Because
Johnny? What if you were in, let's say you were in Israel with Johnny, right? And he said the Holocaust was fake, and in Israel, just everywhere. Would you be like, what's the big deal? He's just saying words. Or would you be like, yeah, I'm getting the fuck away from this guy because I don't want to get killed?
I mean, basically, I would take care of my safety first, right? But at the same time, like
Right, but taken to the
helping
logical
Johnny
conclusion.
doesn't really endanger my
Right, but taken to the
right now,
logical
he's
conclusion.
Didn't you just get your
He's
ass
not
beat
with
last?
me
Didn't
right
you
now,
get your
so-
ass beat though?
I did.
Right.
So how did he not put you in danger then?
He did, but that wasn't supposed to happen in a first world country like Korea. You know,
That could happen anywhere. It doesn't matter if it's a first world or third world country. That does not matter. That doesn't matter. You're still getting your ass beat. If you pull a stunt off like that in Germany, you would also get your ass beat.
Why
that's
wouldn't it?
that would happen in Mexico, basically.
Okay, but it happened in
it would
Korea,
happen anywhere.
so
It would happen in America. Let's say you did something to offend Americans. You know, let's say what would offend Americans?
Oh fuck!
I mean, screw the Americans. There's people whose parents, whose grandparents, people that they know and loved who used to be comfort women. So the real correlation is, let's say your mom has some sort of disease, right? And Johnny Somali then made fun of that disease to her face and then laughed about it. Would you feel like you would have a right to get upset?
I would. All right. So,
but it's just words, right?
If I love my mom, I would probably get upset, but I would still support Johnny Somali's right to free speech. You know, like I'm a free speech absolutist. I believe free speech must be absolute, and it's the most fundamental right that a human being can have.
Is that because you lived in America for a few years, or you always felt that way?
I believe I always felt that way because America these days doesn't really practice. I mean, it preaches free speech in a fake manner, but it does not.
But it was not only what he said. Like, he always talks about, like, free speech and all. I agree. You should be able to say what you want to say. Right? But it's more so about his actions. It isn't what he says. It's what he does that is now getting him into jail. Not what he says, but what he does.
Practice free speech.
In what? Give me one example where America doesn't practice free speech.
Let's see. There are threat laws. There are they fine Alex Jones for exposing school shootings.
Okay.
And yeah.
Okay, but that's not you. That wasn't the government who fined him, though.
That was court. The court actually fined Alex Jones.
Yeah, I think that.
And said that Alex Jones must compensate all these victims.
Right.
What victim?
But you know,
but he wasn't criminally charged.
It was a civil case.
It was a civil case.
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
You're right,
but Hank, I do wonder what country on earth has the free speech that you support. Is there any country on earth that has this free speech that you love so much?
Zero, sir. The last and the only country to have my version of free speech was 1800s America.
Don't you think it'd be easier if you join like the rest of society and, you know, instead of trying to, you know, go for this late 18th?
The free speech that he asks for does not really exist, because there is some things that when you say them, you will absolutely be charged. 100%, you will absolutely be sued. The problem isn't free speech, it's his lack of morals. Very much. It's really just the things he does. It's really just the things he does. And also, freedom of speech does not mean lack of consequences. If somebody does not like what you say and they walk up to you and kick your head in, then it is what it is. That's something you gotta live with. Not tolerating that, but that is what's going to happen eventually.
1800s free speech thing that hasn't been around for a while? Wouldn't it be easier for you?
100%. 100%. I would agree, but
yeah, but even in the late 1800s, if you threatened someone, you would get arrested.
Threat law didn't exist until like 1930s or so, actually.
Yeah, I think you could duel, actually.
Wow.
Oh, really?
You actually have to do something in action.
Still duel.
Okay, so
I mean,
you want to go back to the Wild West?
I mean, but
right. I mean, like, if you wanted to go back to the Wild West,
I don't want to die.
People
people
shot people for like insulting them. You know, like you know, fighting words is a term for a reason in the Wild West.
Yeah. Hey, so
Right.
so where's Johnny now?
Well, a fighting word was not a legal term until 1910s, actually.
No, I understand
Right, that's what he's saying. He's saying that if you're trying to avoid getting hurt, then living in that era would be
yeah, you might not.
to you.
The state
because
might not
you would die.
prosecute you, but people with guns and revolvers will fucking shoot you.
Bro does not know what he's saying. If 200 years ago you would have insulted someone, if Johnny Somali was doing what he is doing in Korea now, he would have done 200 years ago in pretty much almost any country. Bro, you would have died. he would have died a long time ago with that behavior.
Right. I mean, it was more like societal than legal, you know?
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So where's Johnny now?
So the only problem with him is that the government punishes him, and not the society. So he would be fine if the government dropped all the charges and somebody got into his car, saw Johnny Somali on the street and ran him over. That would be fine according to his logic, because you know it's society prosecuting him, not the state. I find that very interesting. I don't know what's going on in this man's head. It's very interesting. I wonder if he would be fine with that if somebody took him out.
What's he up to? Is he doing okay? His trial's next week, isn't it?
Yeah, Johnny's doing all right, but he's not with me right now. But
yeah, because everyone knows where you live.
Yeah, so like my location's like compromised, so like, I'm not gonna keep Johnny here, you know.
Wait, right, so,
obviously.
But do you still hang out with him? You have like meals with him? You have pizza with him? You eat what, jjajangmyeon with him? What do you do with him?
I talked to him about a couple legal cases because he is a witness to that aggravated assault, and he's a witness to like stalking, all that, you know.
Yeah. So do you eat with him or what?
Also a witness to those cases. No, not really. I mean,
okay.
if I eat with him, that's gonna like compromise his safety too, you know.
So what's your take overall? Is he fucked in your opinion, or is he going to be okay?
Well, they're trying to make it political, and
sure.
You know what happened to my case because they made my case political back in East Texas? I got fucked, right?
But that was from American government, not Korean government.
Yeah, but like Korea has like much, I would say, more lenient sentencing than the United States. So Johnny's probably not going to go to prison. He's going to.
Oh, you think he'll be let go?
Either let go or like at most like pay some fines, you know? Because I mean, what did he do that was like felonious? Not really. Like he's.
They literally have things on him. They found another thing that can put him in prison for 31 years. Obstruction of business would be one of those. And he did that. 100%. The AI thing. He did that. 100%. They have proof. The problem is, the retort filmed everything that he did. He filmed his own crimes. What are you gonna what? We have everything on video, my guy. Everything. He wants to go back to his idealized version of America 200 years ago. Bro is in for a rude awakening. Also, 200 years ago, wasn't there also a lot of racism towards Asians, if I remember correctly? I could be wrong.
He hasn't done anything that would.
Well, the AI deepfake thing was, you know,
that's a felony.
That's a felony. So.
Yeah, I mean that wasn't sexual, and Johnny never created it.
Oh, that wasn't made by Johnny, huh?
No, that was just made by some random, random dude on like some app.
Hey, okay, so when you were in America and you got the guns, why did you lie about being a citizen?
So a random dude made the AI kissing of him kissing another woman, Korean woman, and Johnny Somali just showed it. Is that what you're telling me? I do not believe you. This guy's full of shit. This guy's full of shit, and he's also apparently a criminal.
2 reasons. I'll be very honest here, right?
Thank you.
Back then, I was an ultra-nationalist, so I was afraid
for
that,
wait, ultra-nationalist for America or for Korea?
America.
Okay.
So I was ashamed that I was not an United States citizen at that time. So I didn't want to reveal the fact that I am a foreign.
Hey, What? What? Huh? This makes no what? Huh? Never mind, put this man in a straitjacket as well. Good God. This man is a threat to society too. Okay. Bro lives in the United States. Is a ultra-nationalist for the United States. Does not have citizenship for the United States, but is a ultra-nationalist for the United States. This makes no sense. Nothing. I am so confused. What is this dude? What is he doing? What is this? Huh? This makes no sense. Is this like a black white supremacist level thing? Like, this is so dumb. This is so dumb. This is so dumb. Bro, this is so dumb. Is he crazy? Isn't even their citizen? Yeah, and he owned guns. They are just interviewing him, Zoom. This is an interview.
Foreign citizen, like at all, whichever nation that might be, and second thing is on the ATF form 4473, it does say that if you are a non-citizen U.S. national, you should identify as a citizen. So, I mean, if I'm a permanent resident, right?
If you're
Too far?
That might be, and second thing is on the ATF form 4473, it does say that if you are a non-citizen U.S. national, you should identify as a citizen. So, I mean, if I'm a permanent resident, right?
if you're a non-citizen U.S. national,
Yes.
Huh? How this? Can bro? What? I am. Huh?
U.S. national.
On the ATF form 4473, it does say that if you are a non-citizen U.S. national, you
Non-citizen U.S. national. Is that contradictory? Can you be a U.S. national if you're not a citizen? I'm so confused.
should identify as a citizen. So, I mean, if I'm a permanent resident, right?
If you're a non-citizen U.S. national,
Yes.
You should.
Is there a chance that bro is just illiterate and can't read? If you're not a citizen, you should identify as a citizen. Bro just said, away with... Bro is a ultra-nationalist, but said, yeah, away with borders. Who needs those? Who needs to apply for citizenship? What the heck? I am so confused. He's frying my brain.
Say
You should
you're a
identify
citizen?
as a citizen.
so if you're a non-citizen U.S. citizen, that's weird.
Well, non-citizen U.S. national. There's a
Well, what was
classification.
your status in America when you were in America? You're just permanent green card holder?
I am a permanent resident, sir. Yes.
Okay.
Right now, too, because I actually appealed.
So you got.
But that's not what it says on the form. It says, are you a U.S. citizen? If you are not a U.S. citizen, are you a foreign national legally permitted to reside in the U.S.?
Bro cannot read. Bro cannot read. There's no way.
Well, 8 USC section 1101 defines what a non-citizen U.S. national is. It says, like, even if you're not a U.S. citizen, you owe permanent allegiance to the United States.
But that doesn't say anything
means-
about saying you're a citizen.
Oh, so you have
Yeah.
like a legal. You should have been an attorney, huh?
Probably not.
Wait, so you were born in Korea, correct?
Oh,
Correct,
actually, it
yeah.
says it right here. If you are a foreign national, you must also include your country of citizenship, which must be listed in the Department of State's U.S. treaties in force.
Yeah. I'm not saying that I didn't screw up. You know, like
Bro turned off. Bro said, "Nah, I'm good." bro finally said, "Yeah, I'm good. Goodbye." That is crazy, bro. Just shut off. Bro was like, "Dude, shut the heck up. We're full of shit." That's crazy. Ain't no way, dude. Ain't no way. They're literally reading it out to him, and he's like, "Oh yeah, that's not meant like that. That's actually meant to be interpreted differently." It's like you know the scene from The Good Doctor where he like says constantly, "I'm a surgeon." Bro is that, but for Americans, I am a citizen.
I definitely did screw up.
No, I'm just saying because you said that on the form, it said that if you're a foreign national, you should still mark that you're a citizen. It does not say that.
Well, no. Not if you're a foreign national. Like, I thought if I was a permanent resident, you know, permanent residents only.
Okay. Hey, so
But
yeah,
I did screw up.
yeah. So a lot of people on the internet in Korea, they're saying that you're not Korean, that you're Chinese. Can you clear it up for us? Like, are your parents from China? What's going on there?
I am a Korean citizen, but I do have a lot of Chinese ancestry.
Like, you have mostly Han blood, or what are you talking about?
I believe Han, maybe Mongol. I believe, but mostly Han.
What is this? Chinese man, citizen of South Korea, false citizen of the United States, but also ultranationalist. This is rotting my brain. This is crazy. This is so dumb. This dude is so retarded. It's crazy. What is this? I'm so confused. I am so confused.
Han, yeah.
Is it because you know your parents are from China, or
No, both of my parents are from Korea. My ancestors are from China.
Then what?
China.
Well, okay. It wasn't your grandpa like Attorney General in Korea? Wasn't he like a really big position there?
Yes, 23rd Attorney General in South Korea. That's been doxxed. Yeah.
Do you still talk to him?
Huh?
Do you still talk to him?
Not really. So the reason why I'm pissed at my grandfather is my dad was abusive as hell, right?
Yeah.
Being an attorney general, he should know that upon turning age 14, I have right to go to the court and pick which side of my parents that I want to live in.
Yeah.
Whether it be maternal side since they're divorced. But to protect my mom from my dad's either physical or financial or like reputational retaliation, my grandfather purposely did not inform me of that law. That's why I got kicked back and forth between my mom and my dad and got abused by my dad and all that.
How are you abused? Like, what's some of the horrible abuse that you went through that I'm sure
beat me with golf club, beat me with a baseball bat,
Yo, this is some heavy childhood trauma. That's some heavy childhood trauma.
Confined me to a room for like days.
This was in Korea or was this in America?
Both. In America, it was done by my dad's older brother, who was a total
So
like a psycho piece of shit. But
what age did you move to the United States?
10.
10?
11?
Oh.
10? 11? Yeah.
Yeah, you lived in La Crescenta, right?
So then if you were 10 or 11 in America, what does the AG in Korea have to do with the laws in America? Because didn't they get separated when you were 14, you said? So then wouldn't you have been in America?
Negative story. They were divorced when I was 2. So I went to America
10
with my mom first.
Oh, and then you bounce back and forth
But
because
it's the question still remains: if your grandfather was an attorney general in Korea, then how would he know about the laws in America to inform you?
Because when I was living in Korea and attending an international school, right?
Mm-hmm.
My grandfather had duty to inform me of that particular.
Yeah, but you're talking.
Why do I feel like this is just the guy that hates the Koreans because his dad and like his family was bad? What if it's just that at its core? Why do I feel like it's just that?
Talking about the 14-year-old law in America, right? Where once you're 14, you're allowed to choose which family you want to, which parent you want to live with.
Or is that
existed in Korea too?
Is that a same law in Korea?
Affirmative, sir. Yes.
Okay.
It exists both in America
So what
and
happened
in
is
Korea.
at age 10, 11, you came to America with your mom, but then you had to bounce back and forth to Korea because you didn't know about this law, and you had to go back to live with your dad for a little bit, and then back and forth. Is that what's going on?
Well, I want to say back and forth to Korea, just like back and forth between my mom living with my mom's side, dad's side, because.
But your dad's side was in Korea and your mom's side was in America, right?
My uncle was in California.
Your dad's brother was in California, though. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
My mom was in New York.
Were you sexually abused?
I mean,
Negative, sir. I was not sexually abused.
Because I read stuff that you were sexually abused in high school or something a long time ago.
Oh no. That's a different story. I gotta tell you. I wasn't abused. I was kind of groomed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened?
Groomed for what exactly?
I'm not going to reveal her name, but it was a white American woman living in Korea at that time.
And how old were you?
I was 17. She was 37, and she took my virginity both front and back.
What? Did I hear that correctly?
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So what happened?
Groomed for what exactly?
I'm not going to reveal her name, but it was a white American woman living in Korea at that time.
And how old were you?
I was 17. She was 37, and she took my virginity both front and back.
She used a device on you?
You use a strap-on dildo.
Bro, I'm sorry. I shouldn't laugh, but bro got pegged. Bro got pegged by a 37-year-old woman. That is crazy. Not gonna lie, that is crazy. She pegged him allegedly. Yeah, that is crazy. Oh my goodness. But he said he got abused in America as well. So why is he this ultra-nationalist non-citizen? I have no idea. This is crazy. Wow. That is crazy. I'm sorry, but that is crazy. That is crazy. That is wild. I shouldn't laugh, but it's crazy.
Though to penetrate.
Okay, we
penetrate my anus.
Might not have needed such detail, but
did you like it though?
Why is he laughing though?
At that time, no, but it did turn me. I believe it did turn me bisexual.
Yeah, because you are bi. You told me that you.
Never mind.
You hook up with dudes or do things for them sometimes, right?
Well, I would say like this. My price is 3,000 for sucky sucky and 10,000 for fucky fucky.
Bro is a prostitute as well. At this point, bro is just trauma dumping. Also, at that, do you? What the hell, bro? This is crazy. This is wild, bro. He's trauma dumping, bro. revealed his bisexual awakening. This is crazy. This is crazy. This is wild. This entire video is wild. This Price, yeah, this entire interview is wild. That is the missing link.
10,001.
Huh?
10,001, not dollars.
Dollars.
Oh, $10,000.
Yeah, but
You're joking,
I
right?
do.
Yeah, this is.
I'm not.
You're not. Okay.
Wait, I'm
I'd actually,
confused.
I would actually do that, but I do like femboys.
You like femboys. What's an example of a famous femboy? Because I don't know what that means.
Well, I don't know like any like.
What is this? What is happening? What is this interview? $20 and 20 pounds and 20 pounds. Ugh. Hell nah, surely he's not talking about Korean won because that's $7. Bro, for $7. That's crazy if that were the case. Bro needs to go non-binary. We don't want him in our community. This is crazy. This is crazy. Yeah, you could get me for no money. No money at all.
Femboy that's like a celebrity, but if you can Google like femboy, like there's a definite difference between a femboy and a tranny.
What's your definition of a femboy then?
So, femboy's like a feminine boy, like femininely dressed boy and stuff, but he doesn't take like pills.
What do you do? What are you doing? Don't use the word boy. Don't use in this context. Use feminine man, please.
To become like tranny, but femboys look prettier than girls. So,
But
I mean,
but isn't that like bordering on pedophilia?
huh?
Isn't that bordering
I
on
don't think
pedophilia?
they're underage. I think they're just called.
Oh,
femboys.
just
they're not
boy-
underage.
They're just called boys. They're
Yeah.
not actually.
So a
boys.
white woman turned you bi, you think?
Yes, a 37-year-old woman when I was 17 turned me bi. Yes.
Yeah, so she was a teacher in Korea, but she moved back to the U.S., and then that's when it happened in the U.S.
No, that happened in Korea, but it was perfectly legal because Korean age of consent is 16.
Okay, all right.
Then legally you technically were not groomed. We're talking about femboys because bro likes feminine men. In this case, we can throw out the grooming allegations because technically it was legal because of Korean age of consent. That's out of the window. Johnny Somali has a feminine boy built. Oh no, I know what you're implying. I know what you're implying.
But
And you were what?
Well, yeah,
17?
Yeah, he was 17.
Wow.
I was 17, yeah. But in terms of like femboys are actually very popular among women, and most femboys are straight. So I just gotta find a bi one, you know.
So
I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. I don't know about that one. Not from my experience. There's two categories of femboys. The femboys that are gay or bisexual in relationships, and the straight femboys that are not in that don't end up in relationships. So I don't know about that one. At least from what I have seen.
currently, you're trying to come back to the United States. Is that correct? You're trying to appeal your case.
Negative, sir. I actually plan to move to China,
Oh,
Shanghai.
and do you think that they
Yeah.
will accept you with open arms? It's kind of a difficult process to. I mean, I've looked into it. I'm also curious as well, but isn't it a difficult process to get naturalized there?
Open arms, I don't think so. But if you have an engineering degree or like a science degree, then it's much
so
easier.
you are an engineer or you have an engineering degree.
Yes, sir. I am pursuing. I'm going to pursue masters of engineering.
I see.
Okay, great. Hey, so this has been a pretty peaceful discussion.
Yes, sir.
It was kind of a little weird in the beginning because you were walking around and distracted, but You know, after the trial, can you tell us more about the Johnny stuff? And where's Gino right now? Is he back in America?
Yeah, Gino is in Japan, and yeah,
He's in Japan.
yes,
Okay. Good to know.
If he did come back to Korea, do you think he would be in trouble with the authorities?
probably not. I mean, Gino didn't really do anything, you know.
Goodness. 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 How did it go from a serious topic, like abuse, to talking about femboys? That's a good question. You know what this boils down to? That man is just gay for Johnny Somali. Maybe that's just it. Maybe that's why he defends him.
Okay.
Yeah, you were there when.
Like mostly Johnny.
So when I saw the video where Gino was there, and you were standing next to him, and Gino was saying like, "Can I eat your pee?" and like making the la 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 face, and you were laughing at that, right? You think so? That's
Right.
funny to you, right?
That is actually absolutely funny because most people think that's illegal. That's actually not illegal in South Korea.
No,
because
forget
Gino
the
is
forget
not,
the
you know,
forget the legal thing. The women don't want to be harassed like that, or do you think it's funny that they get offended by that?
Sure, but like I think it's funny because they're in a club street and they should expect to get sexualized like that, but they
What? Just because it's expected to happen? That does not mean that it should? What? Huh? What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
get offended like that. I mean,
Wait.
I personally wouldn't do it, but you know,
but
free
just
speech. You know?
but don't you think just like you should expect to get jumped if you're hanging around Johnny and like that? Shouldn't you also expect that? It shouldn't be a surprise, right?
To get jumped over that? No, I don't think so.
I mean,
like,
whether you
because,
agree
like,
with it or not, you can't.
Right. I mean,
not
like, so
expect it.
if you were in the fucking Wild West and you started doing this type of shit, you would just get shot. And
I have a question.
I mean,
How does
mean-
grooming fit into
Bro just threw him with some pills or something. He couldn't take this. Bro was there as well. He needs to get pegged again. Round 2. Bro does probably get pegged.
free speech? Because all she did was just use words, right? And she has a right to use your words.
well, she had my fully. Well, she had my fully informed consent to
yeah, I
fucking
don't
the
think
ass, yeah.
I don't think he regrets that.
All right. Well, anyway, Hank, you know, thanks for doing this interview with us. You know,
Thanks, sir.
let's do a more.
I'm actually curious. Do you have a take on the recent happenings about in this past week in Korea? Because you seem to be against the Gen X Koreans, so you must be against like Korean people in general or whatever. You know,
Yeah.
big things happened this week. I'm sure, as you're aware.
There it is, right? There it is. He just straight up confirmed that he's against Korean people in general. He just said, yeah. There we have the confirmation. I can predict it.
Do you have any thoughts about Yoon Suk Yeol and what's going on there?
Well, yeah. Like I'm not against Koreans, you know. I'm just against like Korean politicians.
Sure. But yeah,
this
so
point. I mean,
yeah,
I'm against like older Korean culture.
Right,
And,
right. So
before
then,
we end the
do you have right? Okay, so
session,
then
I like to tell you one more thing, but
Yeah.
on the you.
First it was Xers. Now it's politicians. Yeah, I just think you just dislike your own people in general. I just think you dislike your own people in general.
On the Korean president, he's saying that he did it to investigate election fraud. If he did, he's the hero. You know, I mean, if that's true,
Right.
he's a hero.
But I mean, I
that's
guess I'm just
not
like
true.
asking what you believe. What do you believe?
At this point, I don't have any evidences to believe
Okay.
one way or the other.
Got
I don't want to make a blank statement and I'm wrong later,
Okay.
but
Yeah.
I
Okay.
do believe that if it's false, then all right. First of all, my favorite president is Chun Doo-hwan.
Okay.
That's
All
my
right. Okay. You know what? All right. Before we open up that whole,
Can of worms.
you know, let's save that for next time because we're a little
Yeah.
bit over now. We are going to get
Yeah.
into why you like Chunduan, but Yeah, we'll talk about that next time, okay? And
Yes, sir.
you know, try to get Johnny on with you next time because we want to ask him some questions too, okay?
That
Next
would
time.
happen. I mean, that can happen when all of my legal cases are
I'm
like
sure
pretty much
they're
settled.
not
It's going to be like
whatever.
a couple months, you know.
Okay,
or
sounds
take.
good. All right, then.
Yes, sir.
Let us know when that
Let me
happens.
tell you one more thing.
Yeah.
You know, like when like those like Korean actors, they always say like "야 인사 안 해?"
Right.
which means like, why aren't you why aren't you like bowing down to me?
Yeah, but I inza anyway.
Greeting you.
I tell them, 니마 비 차오니마 니마 쓰러.
Okay.
None of us are Chinese,
Nice.
but
They deserve
what does that mean? What does that
It's
mean?
2024. Yeah, hey.
Nima
Korea
means
is
your
one of the
mom,
most
right?
Americanized countries in the world.
Right.
None of that bowing down shit. I fist bump. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Well, you know, I'll fist bump you, but I generally bow to others. It's not a big deal. It's just you know. But
Cultural.
okay.
Just different types of handshakes.
All right, Hank. Nice fist.
Fist bump.
Hey, oh yeah, fist bump, buddy. Or not buddy, but 동생. Hey, you have a good time at the gym, okay? We'll talk again next time and get more information, okay?
You too, sir. Thank you, sir.
All right, peace.
Appreciate it.
All right. All right, and that was it with Hank Yu. You finally joined. It was kind of odd. It wasn't.
That's pretty much the end. It's very simple. In conclusion, this guy's a retard. That's the conclusion. This guy just generally, I believe from what I've seen here, that he genuinely dislikes his own country. Not just Xers, not just politicians, not just anything like that. It's just, this guy's just a retard. It is so simple. It is so simple. That's the conclusion to me. This guy, to be honest, just throw him right. Just put him in the same jail cell as his lover.